What would your husband do if his sister, who hates you, broke into your medical records, you and your 13-year-old child broke into your medical records, looked at your stuff, and then when the hospital found out she did that, she got fired, and his family came after him to pressure him to go to the hospital, lie, and say he had actually asked his sister to look at your records. Now we all want to think, oh my gosh, my husband would totally stand by me. He would not lie for his sister. But just think about that. His family is all coming at him. The only family he has ever known. Would he buckle or would he stand strong? Let me know in the comments, and here's today's story time. With one simple medical record request, this couple's world was unknowingly turned upside down. Before I tell you what happened, I want you to know that Bethany has always tried to have a relationship with her in-laws. She has looked out for her mother-in-law, driven her to appointments, made sure she always has a gift to open, and still, the mother and sister-in-law have always gone out of their way to make Bethany feel like an outsider. Bethany's not clueless. She knows that, they're not her biggest fans, but she thought, at least we're civil together until she saw this social media post from her sister-in-law. She actually commented Bethany was evil. Now let's get to the situation that involves medical records. Bethany's sister-in-law works at the hospital where Bethany and their son go. So as the tension keeps rising, she decided to talk to her husband about calling the hospital and just making sure that his sister doesn't have access to their records. Turns out there is a break the glass policy, just an extra layer of protection where you're notified if somebody tries to access your records and they don't have a reason for it. 2 months later, they were notified that someone broke the glass. She called to get more information, but that's all they could tell her, is that the glass was broken and there was no justification for it. Fast forward 3 more months and her husband gets a call from his mom, who is irate. He learns that his sister lost her job because she did, in fact, look at their records, and they're blaming this action on Bethany. His family proceeded to pressure him to pick their side, to lie to the hospital and say, oh yeah, I actually gave my sister permission to look at our records. He did none of that. He knew this wasn't their fault. He knew that his sister was the one who took the illegal action and she had to face the consequences. So his sister never got her job back and the family just stopped talking. More recently, his mom reached out and said, you need to pick our side. He hasn't responded, but Bethany keeps encouraging him to reach out to his family to try to mend things because, first of all, she never wanted to be against his family. She's always tried to have a positive relationship regardless of how they treated her. And she can see how awful this is for him. But he refuses. He is standing beside Bethany. He knows what they're doing to her is wrong and he doesn't want any part of it. Now to Bethany's question. She wants to know, should I write a letter to his family just once again explaining that I in no way meant to get her fired and that I'm very sorry for all of this and that we really want to try to mend this. Like, would that work? Is it even worth trying to repair it at this point? This is so sad to me because so often in emotionally immature families, and I've never met this family, so I'm just talking in general, it feels so much safer to blame the outsider than to actually look at the facts that are presented to them. So instead of them looking at, okay, well, to the daughter, well, you broke the rules, you made an illegal action, and now you have to face the consequences, or instead of listening to their son saying, my wife and I both made this decision and this is actually on my sister, rather than hearing all of that and facing the truth, it's easier to blame the outsider because if they actually look at their children, which are extensions of themselves, then they have to look at themselves, and that is just too much. So they break it down into a simpler version, which is, it's Bethany's fault. It's definitely possible for this to be repaired, but a few things have to happen. First of all, your sister-in-law has to retract and really kind of reverse and say, yeah, I'm the one who messed up. This is on me. Second, his family needs to say, yeah, wow, we were definitely in the wrong. It was her fault. And third, and this is a big if the family is willing to reverse and really take accountability and blame the person who actually made the illegal action, will they stop treating Bethany like an outsider? After all, they did all these mean things to her before any of this happened. So Bethany, I'm just trying to remind you that you got to keep that in mind. Based on what they're doing, I highly doubt your letter is going to help at all. It's going to land on deaf ears, but if it helps you feel like you have some more closure, like at least I tried, like I tried to mend the relationship. I don't want my husband like living like this. He's suffering, but I did my best and that's all I can do. If it helps you, which I think it would, then write the letter. But don't have any hope you're going to be hearing back from them in a positive way. I just want you to know, Bethany, what they're doing to you, how they treated you before this like invasion of privacy is absolutely awful and uncalled for. And the way that your husband is standing beside you 1000% definitely shows that he loves you. So MYB community, what advice do you guys have for Bethany? Should she write the letter or just skip it?